Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from group 3. Here we are going to present our group project about Pseudophilus rosea in a room-sized treatment. But before we start our presentation, we would like to thanks to our lecturer, Dr. Mofid Eko Purwanto. And next up is our group member is from the beginning.
Hello, my name is Sabrina Hairunisa, with student number 041.
Hello, my name is Mira and my student number is 0523.
And myself, Iqbal Hakim, with my last study number is 054. What are we going to present today is about Pseudophilus rosea, the difference between male and female, treatment, result, and discussion.
Next is Pseudophilus oryzae. Pseudophilus oryzae or rice weevil is a major pest that infests grains such as rice, corn, and wheat. This small beetle measures about 2 until 3 millimeters, has a dark brown to gray body with reddish spots, and possesses a descending long snout or rostrum. It undergoes complete metamorphosis like egg, larva, pupa, and adult, with females drilling holes into grains to lay eggs, allowing larvae to develop inside until they emerge as adult. Pseudophilus oryzae infestation reduces grains quality and weight while also increasing the risk of toxic fungal growth such as aflatoxins. Next.
And then there is a difference between male and female. In the male, the body tends to be smaller and slimmer with a length of about 2 until 2.5 millimeter. The snout or rostrum is shorter and thicker than the female. The body color of the male tends to be darker with a more subtle reddish pattern. And for the female is the body is slightly larger and fuller with a length about 2.5 until 3 millimeter. The snout is longer and more slender, allowing the female to more easily bore holes in the seed to lay eggs. The female's color is slightly brighter with a more pronounced reddish pattern.
So the next is the methods. Firstly, the material and the tools. The material is we use Pseudophilus oryzae, which is 5 male and 5 female, 100 grams of rice, and also the transparent containers. So the step is, firstly, we prepare the containers with different size. Firstly, the small size with 100 and then the medium and the big size. And then each container are given 100 grams of rice. And lastly, then observe and also they commented every 7 and also every 5 for 3 days population density, the sex ratio, behavior, and also the food condition. Next. So the result from the small container in 6 weeks, there is no significant difference population, and for the week 6 there is likely population is the male is 6 and also the female is 7. Their behavior is still active and the food condition still stable.
In the medium population density, the observation is already talked about before. The behavior still active and still stable about the food condition until the week 6.
For the big size, the female on week 6 there is more female than male because the female is 9 and the male is 4.
For the week 7 until week 40, there is significant different population because there is still growing and increase. For overall, the female Cytopilus is higher than the male population. There is some factor that make the female population is higher than the male, but in the last week or the week 40, the male population is higher than the female population.
Same for the medium, the female more than the male for several weeks before in the week 14 the population reduced to 0.
And for the big size, it can see from the table, the large container treatment, the female growth was higher. Male and female growth was directly proportional, so both of them is higher.
So we can say that in the small size, the population of Cytopilus oryzae increased every week, although some dead in some weeks. But in overall, the population is increased, and the rice starting to turn into flour. The texture of rice is duller and more starchy, and most of them were hollow in the middle and are filled by the Cytopilus oryzae inside. Under this small condition, Cytopilus oryzae increased, and it can be due to the large number of females, and then resulting in a significantly increased population. And the large population in the container turned the rice into flour. The larvae of the Cytopilus oryzae pupate and live inside the rice. So this makes the grains break easily and crumble like flour.
And next is discussion for medium size container. From week 6 to week 12, the population in the medium container showed a gradual increase, indicating successful reproduction. The number of individuals rose steadily, reaching its highest point in week 12, with a total of 48 individuals, 18 males and 30 females. However, in the week 13, the population sharply declined, and by week 14, both male and female individuals were recorded as 0. This complete loss of population in week 14 was caused by fungal contamination in the container. The presence of mold likely degrade water quality and created a hostile environment, leading to mass mortality due to lack of food from the contamination that attacked the rice. This highlights the vulnerability of aquatic population of environmental disturbance. Even after periods of stable growth, it also emphasizes the importance of maintaining proper hygiene and monitoring for microbial contamination during cultivation.
Next is discussion for the big container. Based on classical studies on density dependent fluency in Cytopilus oryzae, it was found that fecundity increased under medium to high density condition, but decreased at very high densities. So for the week 6 until 8, density enters the optimal range is the number of adult female is increased, and for the week 9 until 14, high density triggers the mass reproduction phase, especially for females, resulting in population surge. Based on classical studies on density-dependent fluency in Cytopilus oryzae, it was found that fecundity increased under medium to high density condition, but decreased at very high density. Okay, next. Next is the factor that influencing. First is population of Cytopilus, number of females and males. A is population density. In high density, there is increased that higher meeting opportunities. However, excessive density can lead to stress, reducing reproductive efficiency. In low density, fewer encounters may slow down population growth. B. Availability and quality of feed. The consistent and nutrient feed supports egg production in females. Poor feed quality or scarcity leads to reduce fecundity and delayed development. C. Microenvironmental condition or containers. First is humidity, temperature, and available space influence mating behaviors and egg hatching. And instead the transfer to a new container may cause an adaptation phase, reducing activity or delaying reproduction in early weeks. D. Life cycles duration of Cytopilus. The complete cycles of egg, larva, pupa, adults make around 25 until 30 days under optimal condition. Therefore, the population spike in weeks 9 until 14 reflects the successful reproduction that occurred around 3 until 5 weeks. Next.
And there is behavioral factor. There is behavioral observation and also the feed condition. Firstly, the stable environmental condition. The consistently observed active behavior suggests that the environmental parameters, example is the temperature and humidity, were within favorable ranges. And the Cytopilus is sensitive to environmental change and may become less active in non-ideal conditions, like in the containers. The second one is the stable feed condition. A stable and sufficient feed supply ensures active behavior and support continuous reproduction. This is especially crucial in high-density conditions to avoid nutritional stress. Lastly, environmental stress. The example is overcrowding or physical disturbance. Although behavior is recorded as active, high population density may still include mild stress, but not immediately observable, which could affect reproductive performance, such as decreased hatching rate or prolonged mating duration.
And this is the journal that we are referencing. And that's all about our presentation from Group 3. Thank you everyone. Sorry if we made our mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.